Welcome to our Messy 5-Minute Church series. We are so excited to be starting a MessyChurch on October 1st at StMary's. So we've decided to go ahead and jump in by creating a series of 3 videos which introduce us to what MessyChurch is going to be like. Here you go.
The storm on the lake. It was a perfect day. The sky was blue. The waves too, and a gentle breeze whipped them white and foamy. Jesus sat at the side of the lake and talked to people about God. God is your Father, he said. He dresses the flowers in beautiful colours. He makes sure the birds have enough to eat. But you are his sons and daughters. Don't you think he can clothe and feed you too? So trust him and stop worrying your lives away. When Jesus had finished teaching, he was tired. So he called his closest friends together and they piled into a boat and set off across the lake for home. Jesus yawned. He stretched. He laid his head down to the rhythm of the waves and the rocking of the boat, and he fell asleep. It was the perfect end to the perfect day. And then suddenly, the day was not so perfect. The sky turned black. The boat rocked right and left and up and down and all over the place. It rocked so hard, in fact, that Jesus' friends became really frightened and they were worried that they would drown. But Jesus kept on sleeping all the way through it. Jesus, his friends called at last. Jesus, wake up. We're all going to drown. So Jesus woke up. He rubbed his eyes and he stood up. It was all anyone else could do to stay on their feet. But Jesus was able to stand up, and very calmly he said to the wind, "Quiet now." And he said to the waves, "Settle down." And then Jesus turned to his friends and he said, "You don't need to be frightened. You didn't have to worry. All you had to do was to trust me. See, everything is calm." And so it was. The sky was blue, the lake too, and the little waves splashed happily at the side of the boat. It was a perfect day again.
Have you ever heard someone refer to oil and water? Usually it means that 2 things don't go together. They don't mix. They don't get along. Let's take this water that I have here. It's clear and nice. What happens when I add oil to the water? If you watched, you could see the oil come down and it just forms little drops at the top. It doesn't actually mix with the water. It separates and keeps separate no matter what I do. I can stir it up really, really well. Get some bubbles going, but if you watch it, it spins round and round. It broke the oil up into smaller bits. But the longer I wait, the more that oil starts to filter to the top again. It doesn't mix with the water. It stays separate. It's a lot like what happens when we have disagreements and arguments with people. We both have a side. We both have things that we disagree about. I think one thing and they think another thing. And sometimes it doesn't matter how much you talk about it or try to make a difference. The things don't come together. You can't agree on it. But the Bible story today reminded us that Jesus is the God of peace. Just like he was able to calm the storm, when we have arguments or disagreements, when we can't get on with people and come together, Jesus is the one that can bring us together. He can bring peace to any situation. So, Jesus is kind of like my dish soap here. If I add some dish soap, give it a good mix. Then two things that shouldn't necessarily get on, two things that shouldn't come together, are able to come together. They're able to unite because Jesus makes the difference. Jesus brings peace. And as Christians, sometimes Jesus wants to use us to bring peace to a situation, whether that's by helping the two sides understand or just by praying about it and asking for God's guidance in what we should do. Now I've got soapy water and I've got bubbles at the top, but most of the oil is part of the water now because that's what the soap does, and that's what Jesus does for us.
Well, we really hope that you've enjoyed watching our Messy 5 Minutes today, and it's given you a little taster of what MessyChurch is all about. We'll be posting more videos in the next few weeks, and we hope that you'll continue to watch them and tell us what you think, and think about joining us in real life on October 1st. Bye.